Hello, everybody. My name is Hellkaiser, and welcome back to The Last of Us. I think this is episode 6 at this point. We were in the middle of getting robbed or attacked by bandits, however you wish to word it. It's been a couple of days since I last played this. I took a day off from uploading the other day, and then I took Wednesday. This is Thursday at the time of recording this. I took Wednesday off recording just to spend some more time with my family and just play some more of just whatever I wanted to play. I've been really getting into League of Legends lately. I haven't uploaded my Anno Mutadium series yet. If that's one of the ones that's... I hope that that's not an actual Hank Williams song. There's health on this shelf. I'll take that. Because if it isn't Hank Williams, it sure sounds like him. My dad was a big country music fan. Crap, just... Anyway, well, I guess that's a good enough conversation starter. My dad was a big country fan and bluegrass. I grew up listening to Hank Williams Jr. As a kid, I kid you not, and even to this day, one of my favorite singers was George Jones.
Gotta be a better way out than this.
I'm so lonesome. He stopped loving her today, and I'm so lonesome I could cry are two of, in my opinion, the finest country songs ever written. Two of the best songs ever written in general. Is there anything else left in here that I can find? No. Okay, so we have to go this way. And then Patsy Cline was another one of my favorites. Crazy. No, even in my... As much as I've kind of strayed away more into rock and roll when I became a teenager. And
sure as hell ain't going back this way.
And listened to Charlie Daniels and stuff and all them anymore. And I moved over towards Metallica and Ozzy and AC/DC. I still can't deny Patsy Cline is one of the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest female singer of all time. The only one that ever even gets close to rivaling her is Billie Holiday. But I'm a huge music fan. I've been listening to a lot of Metallica, and like I said in one of the earlier episodes, Ozzy's new album. I just got Load, Reload, and Garage Inc. of Metallica on vinyl. And I listened to a lot of Load the last couple of days when I do my writing projects. I actually write to this kind of music. And I'm sitting there writing to it, and I forget, people...
Hey, maybe we can go through here.
Where are you? Maybe. A lot of people give Load... If you're a Metallica fan, you know this. If you're not a Metallica fan, just ignore what I'm saying. Hang on. Man, that's gotta hurt.
All right, go. See if you can get it propped open with something.
There's some pretty gnarly stuff in here.
Oh, come on.
Ellie!
Right.
And now I gotta reach over to try to grab my charger.
Okay, go!
Tough little girl.
All right, I got it.
Why not just drop it where you were? Ugh. Jesus. Don't look.
Fucking hunters. See, this could have been us.
Man, that's rough.
That is a lot of people that didn't make it.
So what? They stripped their
I should've
clothes?
turned the damn truck around.
We lived.
Barely. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, before I read this document, let me finish what I was saying. I'll pause because I can't talk and do anything else. If you're a Metallica fan, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if you're not, I recommend looking into them if you have any interest in rock and roll or metal, or classic metal, as it would be, I guess, considered now. Load and Reload were the 90s Metallica albums, and a lot of fans didn't like... They kind of left the thrash metal, which they pioneered, and went to a more bluesy rock and roll metal sound, kind of like they said their influences for the Load and Reload album was stuff like one of my favorite bands, ZZ Top, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, and they named off a bunch of other stuff. Even Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, and I forget who else they mentioned, but a bunch of stuff. And so it was definitely a lot more southern rock sort of sounds, and you can hear it a lot in the record. But Load is a really good record. I think that I've always loved King Nothing. It's the only real song I've ever listened to off that album. But when I listen to the vinyl, I like to hear the whole soundtrack, whether I want to or not, because I let it play in the background on my gramophone, and I do have a gramophone. And stuff like Bleeding Me, that was a song I'd never even heard before, but that's a great Metallica song. That guitar solo was fantastic. And a lot of the songs on the entirety of that album are really good. The only one I didn't like is Ain't My Bitch, which is the first song on the album. I just felt like it was trying too hard to start the album off with a very rock and metal song to keep the crowd happy. I think King Nothing should have been the first song to play on the album because I think it's the strongest. But I'm going to listen to a lot of Reload tonight. It just came in the mail today. I always liked Fuel on there, but I never really listened to much of anything else. So I'll tell you if I like it. I've always wanted to kind of do like a album review thing, but maybe I'll do that, but I probably won't. I don't know. Tell me if you guys would like to see me review albums of old metal and stuff. Okay, August 5th, shoes 4, jacket, miscellaneous clothing 6, tires 4, miscellaneous medical supplies 2, canteen, August 6th, so the next day, another couple of pairs of shoes, miscellaneous clothing times 3, so I'm guessing when they say that they mean 3 full sets of clothing, or do they just mean jackets, pants, or whatever? Backpack, canned food times 3, dried food times 4. On the 7th, 4 pairs of shoes, 2 jackets, 7 pairs of clothing, and 2 times dried food. 8, nothing. Everyone's too busy chasing down that crazy chick. Who's that crazy chick? That sounds ominous. Okay, there's a lot of supplies in this room. That's tools. Okay, that's a file. So now I can upgrade my weapons further. Great. I don't want to look at the file. What's this? Smoke bombs create a cloud that blocks enemy vision. They also stun enemies on impact, allowing you to grab them or escape. Okay, I can open these lockers. Ooh, revolver ammo. Hallelujah. And then nothing in there. Okay. So I didn't need explosives and sugar to make smoke bombs. Craft a couple of med kits. Okay, so I've got full med kits now. That's more important than having a Molotov. I'd like to have a Molotov, but if I don't, it ain't no big deal. I got one extra. I don't want to call it a magazine because that's not the right thing, but I guess cylinder. I don't know all the proper type. My dad would be correcting me right now, but I've never been that big of a gun nut. I've got one extra cylinder for my revolver and one extra bullet on backup for it, and then I've got one full magazine for the 9mm. Still got 9 shotgun shells. I got quite a few arrows. So I ain't hurting too bad.
How did you know?
Know what?
About the ambush.
I've been on both sides.
I love that answer.
So, you kill a lot of innocent people?
I like
That
that.
is a yes.
Take it however you want.
That's the thing about this game that I liked, realistically. I still say that this game, I don't mean to pause again, but I have a hard time talking and playing at the same time. I guess that means I'm not very good at this job. I'm the type of person, I always said that this game was good in its story, but when everybody acted like it was this really great story, I felt like, there's other games that have done good stories. I felt like this one was a little overhyped at times. I think it's because it's got a higher production value, a little bit more cinematic in its approach, that it ends up being considered better. I think that the new God of War, or whatever you want to call it, God of War 4, God of War 2016, or 2018, whenever that game came out, it was a really cinematic game as well. I think Uncharted was great. There's a lot of good ones out there. But it's lines like that I think really, I guess, cement this game to people, because Joel acts like a weathered character. He acts like the kind of guy that is morally gray, which is something that a lot of games, especially in 2013, seem to have gotten wrong. You look at like some of my favorites, like Infamous, and then a lot of other games like Dante's Inferno, and every other game that was coming out around that time, they had like a morality system. And this game doesn't, it was just trying to tell a story about a man in the middle. Everything he does is in the middle. You could say he's right, you could say he's wrong, you could say he's just trying to survive and there's no right and wrong left anymore. And that's a very truthful statement. But I really like that about his character, because it makes it so that, you can believe that this world just forced, this man that you saw taking care of his kid and trying to be a hard-working dad into a killer who'll do whatever it takes to survive. Okay, more stuff in here. And I feel like more games shouldn't be afraid to write their characters in the same way. I feel like that's sort of the contributing factor to a lot of praise for this game, because a lot of games are just scared to make their characters tough or anything.
Slept.
To make their characters morally gray. Okay, splinting. Yeah, I know how to splint. I get it. Okay. Health kits are now 33% stronger. Okay. Trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. That's a very popular saying down here in Tennessee. When I was visiting my dad, I'm guessing this is a shiv door. Surprisingly not. When I was a kid, he lives in East Tennessee. And my family, or should I say his family, to give it more of a accurate statement, owns a fairly large farm at a place called Round Mountain, Tennessee. I forget the name of the city that's in, but I'm not joking you here. I'm sorry to pause again. I'll try not to tell any more stories or give any more major comments. But I forget this town. I really wish I could remember the name of it. Ironically, on the TCAPs, like the Tennessee assessment thing you take when you're in like middle school and elementary school and stuff, I guess every state has it under different names. They scored the highest in the state of Tennessee, yet it's nothing but, well, I'm going to be honest, it's rednecks. There is a police department that is only there from like 12 to 4 on the weekdays. They don't go in uniforms because they would be attacked. And my dad would say, if you stole a car and you just want to get rid of the evidence, you park it down here. And one day we was eating a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I looked out the window and 4 guys in hoods came up to this car. It was like an old Buick or something like that. And you know that scene in Cars where I think his name is Mario or Luigi, the little forklift thing, changes Lightning McQueen's tires? Well, they ripped them suckers off that car that quickly, and I'm pretty sure they took the catalytic converter while they were at it. It was a rough place. And me and my dad was going around, I forget what he was doing, but he was visiting some of his old neighbors, and this old guy, he looked like Charlie Daniels. Cowboy hat, ZZ Top beard, long hair, through the door, and I know this because I saw him when he opened the door. He cocked back a pump-action shotgun and said, "Friend or foe?" and sent this big old dog out like a side door, and it started attacking me. And I'm like 10 years old at the time, and I'm fighting off this gigantic Basset Hound Saint Bernard looking thing. I don't know what it was, but it was big to me. And the guy's about to blow Dad's head off because my dad went by his first name, but down there they knew him by his middle name, and so he said his first name, and they didn't recognize the guy. Didn't recognize it, about ready to start shooting. So my dad hollered out, "It's Craig! It's Craig!" And then he said, "Well, shit, Craig, why didn't you just say so? Come on in and set a spell." And then whistled, and that dog stopped attacking me and just went tame. And everybody down there has like 30 dogs. I kid you not. It was a wild place. And that scene, if you've ever seen Crocodile Dundee 2, where he's sitting in the middle of the river throwing dynamite and fishing, that's really what was going on down there. It is the place that, if people talk about the 13th Circle of Hell, I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Bus ram, funnel cars here, ambush here, distraction. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this sort of reminds me of some of those stories. I don't know why. I guess because, just these rivers and this overgrown cars and stuff. You hear...
All right, let's do this.
It bugs me a lot when you go... Like, I used to watch a lot of I Love Lucy. I still do. My mom loved sitcoms and easy-to-watch shows. They like to make fun of Southerners. Like Tennessee, Ernie Ford was on there and just talking about how down in Tennessee, everybody calls everybody else cousin. But when you go to East Tennessee, he ain't lying. That's really how it is. It is not a good place down there. Okay, what can I upgrade? I can't upgrade anything for the hunting rifle. I can reduce the recoil even further on the shotgun. I think that would be the best thing I could do. Yep, he's just gonna... Amazing how easily that works for him. I could upgrade the capacity, or I could upgrade the fire rate. I don't think any of that's too important at the moment. Reload speed or fire rate. I guess I could upgrade the capacity of the 9. Or, yeah. Okay, I don't know how that somehow made his magazine even longer, but okay. There we go.
Yeah, this is good.
Well, it was just working with what I had at the moment. So now I have 10 round magazines. I'm guessing this is where they burn the bodies. Yep, skulls.
Oh, I don't think these guys were infected.
No.
Well, it don't matter. Let's just keep moving.
Yeah, see, like, I think that's supposed to be ivy. It kind of, down here we have something called kudzu vine, and it grows over everything. It will grow over telephone poles. It grows over cars. It'll grow over your house.
Here's the bridge.
And that just, I guess that's why I think about some of those stories. That's what East Tennessee looks like.
Slow down.
Don't ever go there.
What? Right here.
How about you let me go first and keep your voice down?
Why is there a church bell ringing? Anything further than Chattanooga, Tennessee, this is what you're stepping into. Do not go there. Especially if you're a city person. If you don't know how to handle yourself in a rougher part of town. I didn't even grow up in a rough... I'm not going to say that we're rich, but my dad was a good provider. That's about the only thing he was good for.
I'm whistling.
Congratulations. I've never even been able to whistle.
Something else you can drive me crazy with.
That's awesome.
I never learned how to whistle. Okay, what did I miss back here? Oh, some parts. Okay, still can't make a Molotov. How many pills do I have? 15. Man. That's rough.
I bet Elliot liked this.
Savage Starlight. Book 1. Termination Shock. Dr. Daniela Starr dreams of deep space in the year 2186. Mankind has conquered the solar system, but the shackles of special relativity prevent them from going any further. At her research facility on... I'm going to get made fun of if I try to pronounce it. I'm not good at pronouncing certain words. Ganymede? That's my best. Daniela is on the verge of a breakthrough that will allow humanity to finally answer the question, are we alone? That actually has Dark Horse comics, or Dark Horse books, but Dark Horse is a real thing. I'm going to Google that. Is that a real thing? Savage Starlight. No, it's not a real thing. Huh? Well, let me just pull up the wiki here, because I'm seeing some people saying it is, some people are saying it isn't. I just want to... There is an actual miniseries published by the real Dark Horse Comics as part of something called The Last of Us American Dreams, which was a comic done through them. But these are collectibles of a made-up thing. So that's how they get to use Dark Horse's name, because they done teamed up with them to do a comic book. I was wondering about that. That's interesting. I got the trophies as Savage Starlight fan when I'm Googling it. I used to be a super big comic book fan. I still am I don't even know what you call it, passerby in the comic scene. I read stuff like the last really good comic I read was Batman the White Knight. And other than that, I haven't really read anything that was particularly that interesting. It just, to me...
What happened here?
I don't want to get into a big thing where I can't talk, but I'll try to say it here.
Hunters do this?
Cute. And no, my money's on the military.
Why would they mow down all these people?
Why would they mow down a little girl?
They killed them?
Dead people don't get infected. You sacrifice the few to save the many.
It's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It is rough. Sometimes it has to be done, but it shouldn't have to be done to... It should only have to be done to, like, elderly, and then work down the list from there. The sick, the elderly. What happens when the food runs out? Anyways, I was saying, I mean no disrespect to anyone in the LGBTQ plus community. I'm not even certain if I'm saying that right, and I don't mean that wrongly. Whoa, shh.
Oh no. Ellie, get down.
Crap. Great. I wish they added the prone button.
You hit nothing.
I'm about to hit you.
Wow. Yeah, you're really upset. Well, if you want some lessons, you know, I'm more than willing to help you out.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, I was about to say...
Hell are those guys? They're supposed to be here.
They're on the highway shift. Wouldn't be surprised if they cut another batch of tourists.
Spot's a gold mine, lucky bastards.
See if there's anything you can forage while we wait for them.
Ain't nothing here. Let's keep
Okay,
going.
is it just 3 of them? Yeah, it's just 3. I hope that guy can't see me.
Get him!
Yep, he saw me. Well, crap.
All right, go.
Gonna burn, asshole!
What a waste of a valuable resource. Did he just shoot Ellie? It looks like he done lost me.
Hey, is he over there?
He's gone.
You didn't even bother looking, man. And you just turned your back to your buddy that quickly. Man, these guys deserve to die.
All right. Guess you want to do this the hard way.
I'll finish my comment here in a second and I'll start it over. Ooh. There. Anyways, I was saying, and I don't... You alright? She shouldn't have to be seeing all this. I don't mean no disrespect to anybody with this comment, but I feel like a lot of comic books, especially Marvel comics, DC to a degree, but especially Marvel, have become a bit too political. And especially, I don't like to use the term woke because that's also become a very political word, but I think that there's a bit too much representation, and I don't think it's necessary, and I think it's a bit...
We need to lighten the mood. Ready?
Oh, great.
Doesn't matter how much you push the envelope, it'll still be stationary.
What is that?
It's a joke book. No pun intended. Volume 2 by Will Livingston.
Let's keep going.
What did the Confederate soldiers use to eat off of? Civilware.
Mm-hmm.
What did they use to drink with? Cups. Dixie cups. I walked into my sister's room and tripped on a bra. It was a booby trap.
Did they change the face model for Ellie? Because she
Just
looks...
fell on my head. I only have myself to blame.
She looks kind of strange, though.
Hold on, let me read it again.
Oh,
The book
Lord.
just fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame. Ruined it. What is the leading cause of divorce in long-term marriages? A stalemate.
That's awful.
You're awful.
Do you even understand what that means?
Nope. Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm all joked out.
My God. Anyway, I believe there's a bit too much representation, and I don't think a lot of it's very good. And it's not just LGBT, it's also just changing out like Daredevil to from a male to, I think it's Elektra now. And I've heard some people say the comic line is good, so I'm not going to judge it until maybe I get the chance to read it. I don't know if I ever will read it, but I've heard mixed things about it. I saw that one issue that came out, I think it was on
Hey, we can climb the bus right here.
Pride Day of 2020 with the new female Daredevil talking to a trans girl about how she's in the middle of fighting a bunch of bad guys, and the girl is sitting there saying stuff like my first couple of days of womanhood or something like that, and then I know I'm not trying to misquote it, and like I said, I'm not trying to get anybody upset. And then Daredevil says something like, well, welcome to womanhood. And then the girl replies, well, I've always been a woman. It's just now my body is correct or something. And there's nothing wrong with stuff like that. And I know that transgender people need heroes just as well as we need Spider-Man and stuff like that. But it feels like a lot of that is forced. And I don't even think that a lot of people in those communities, whether they're gay, bisexual,
We'll get there.
or just women who want more
Strange
superheroes.
seeing a checkpoint with no soldiers.
Well, this is what most zones
I'll finish
look
up.
like. This place has been abandoned for a while now.
Anyway, as I was saying, I don't think that a lot of people want... Let me just pause, and I'm sorry, I've been doing this all episode. I don't think that people, no matter what their identity or their community or whatever else they want to put themselves in, really care about stuff like that, because realistically speaking, a lot of it's just not good comics, regardless. I quite liked a book, I forget who wrote it. I don't have my Kindle in here, but it was called Dreadnought, and it's about this girl named Danny. She's a trans girl, and she essentially becomes Superman. or Superwoman, but she inherits her powers from Dreadnought, which is the equivalent of a Superman figure, and becomes a superhero. And I read that book and its sequel, I forget what it was called, and it was actually a really good book. I actually thought it was a really good superhero book. I thought if they turned it into a movie and didn't politicize it, because the author who wrote it, if I'm not mistaken, is a trans woman herself, then it would be a really good superhero movie. Because I thought some of the action scenes in the first book, I didn't care as much for the second book's fight scenes, but I thought it would be a really good movie because I thought the action scenes they were described really good. I felt like I was watching a movie, and that's the best compliment I guess I can give it. But I feel like a lot of the comics seem kind of forced anymore, and I don't really like that. Disney's kind of at a point where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of falling apart. They don't have a big named actor holding it together, and then the way they've kind of been acting on certain things, and their very democratic, left-wing attitude towards things has kind of, in my opinion, soured their taste. Some people like. To me, one of the things I didn't like was the new Aladdin movie. Jasmine didn't want to be the princess in the original story because she wanted to be free to marry who she wanted to marry and love who she wanted to love and stuff like that. I thought that's a very good women's positivity story. She wants to do what she wants to do. But in the live action movie, she wants to be the next Maharaja or whatever she is, or the next queen, or I don't know exactly what her thing is. I'm not trying to be a jerk. But I felt like that was a very strange thing because that's changing her entire motivation. Mulan, one of my favorite songs and scenes from the original movie is "We'll Make a Man Out of You," because it's not just saying that she's going to become a man, they're training her. You see her become a soldier, and she's actually holding her own with the men through hard work and training. But in the new movie, she's just a badass. She's better than the men. She actually has to hold back to keep from looking too good, which to me I think is a silly thing. And I think that most people would agree with me that that's not really like something you want to show your little girl and say, yes, just because you're born a woman, you can do anything you want better than anybody else. That's not realistic. That's like a kid watching Superman and saying that he could fly and is invincible. Neither one are positive messages for kids, really.
Give us our rations.
Oh, hang on, I should have read that. I'm sorry. We lost Troy Hill to the most ragtag pieces of maggot shit to ever carry a gun. Bastards are cunning, though they stole one of our mortar... Bastards are cunning, though. They stole one of our mortar launchers. We didn't stand a chance. I apologize if I'm reading this wrong. I told you I've only got one eye that works. I went to the doctor, and they're making me go back in a few more days to figure out what's going on with it. It's not like I'm blind in my left eye. I can see out of it, but it's like everything is blurry, or it might as well be useless at times. I don't know how to describe it, but I only got the right eye to read out of, so I apologize. With this in the Strip District in their pocket, they now control the whole river. Made for a difficult retreat, there's barely half our squad left. I just pray to God that Jeremy and Pam are still alive. They got stranded on the other side of the river. Okay, what's this? Oh, that's just the siphon hose that Bill gave me. Do I have any other notes I haven't read yet? Nope. What was that in his... Oh, I'm guessing this is the first Savage Starlight. No, this is book 3. Reluctant to acknowledge Daniela's findings, the council was forced to accept the ominous reality. A series of supermassive objects were appearing and then disappearing in the nearby star systems. The objects were making a sweep, and one that would hit the Sol system within days. Daniela has been brought on board the Kobayashi, led by Captain James Ryan, to make an up-close analysis of whatever threat emerges. Okay, then let's see it. Okay. Can I give Ellie the book? No. Anything else here? I'll try not to come up with any more comments where I have to pause to talk, and we'll actually try to make some progress. I apologize. But I'm just one of those people, I get distracted, or if they start talking, I want you to be able to hear what they're saying. You'll die before we starve, or and I want to make sure that I get my thought out, so I just tend to pause.
Hunters.
Yeah, me too. Just keep it down while we're going through this area.
I'm so fucking tired. We were up all night chasing this tourist.
Crap.
Yeah, you were a part of that? I heard about this.
Yeah, this one chick, she would just not give up. I've never seen anyone with so much fucking energy. It took a couple minutes to snuff everyone else, and fucking 5 hours to hunt her ass down.
Jesus. Sometimes you gotta earn your keep, right?
Yeah, I guess. We were about to give up when she started shooting at us. It's stupid. She could have got away. I had 2 other guys keep her busy. I took out my rifle. Lined up a little head in the crosshairs. That was that.
Damn. Well, maybe you should have kept her. You know, made her one of us.
No, no way. That girl, she'd kill us all in a sleep.
Whoa, crap. Man, there's a lot of these guys. I'm guessing that's probably one of the comics I made.
Enough to expand.
New head honcho. Same bullshit talk.
I don't know. Now that we have enough people watching all the exits, he says we can set up a larger perimeter.
What is that really gonna give us?
I don't know. Maybe we find some gas, get some more generators going. I'd really like to restore one of those old projectors, watch some movies or something.
That shit ain't happening. I've heard that expansion talk way too many times. And every time we try, it ends up with a bunch of us getting killed.
How do you know? Maybe things will be different now.
Keep your expectations in check, young'un. You'll live longer.
Yeah, about 3 seconds.
Whoa!
Make your peace with your lord, because I'm coming for you.
Fan out!
And hell followed close behind him.
Anything? Oh, man, I got nothing!
Man. They ain't nothing but some chopped liver on the floor. Okay, that's just a 2x4. So I got 4 pretty... Man, some of them flew all the way over here. Good lord. I'll take that pipe.
I got nothing over this way! Me neither.
There's another note. Abandoned zone note. Viewing collectibles. I like how it just doesn't pull you into it while you're in the middle of a fight. He just puts it in his pocket and holds on to it. Man, they're not coming in this building. They're scared to come in here. Take you, and I'll take you. Am I supposed to go this way? I don't want to miss some stuff. Okay, there are people up here.
Another body! Get him!
Crap. Crap.
Watch my back! Get it, asshole!
Crap, that guy's got a shotgun. Dang. Okay, so a close range shotgun on hard difficulty will kill me. But I would have thought I would have got the drop on him. So this is, I'm guessing, is right after I strangled that dude. Yeah. Duct tape. Come to daddy. Okay, I can make something. I hate to give up one of my knives, but I think in this situation it might not be a bad idea to take a pair of scissors onto that. I'd hope that I don't end up in an open gunfight with these guys. I think I have enough resources that I could win the fight, ultimately. I just don't think it's a smart idea. Okay, is that collectible that I picked up still there? Yeah. So I guess once you pick up the collectibles, it stays. Okay. I don't know how that guy didn't see me. He's blind as a bat. Okay, this has exploded into open conflict. Is that guy wearing a helmet? Yes. Now he's not. Crap. Now that guy at least would not be able to still shoot after that. 4 bullets.
I got your back.
Well, clearly you didn't because your friend just got shot. How is that son of a bitch still breathing?
I'm moving up.
Crap. Stay out of the way, Ellie.
You're gonna pay for that.
I'm hurt. I'm pinned in this location. Damn, that was a good shot. Come on. I want more than one bullet in the gun, Joel.
Okay, go. Got it.
On your left.
Ooh, crap. Oh man, that's rough looking.
My back.
You two might get me for this one. What are these guys doing just running at me? What do they hope to accomplish here?
Moving up.
Okay, I'm in the danger zone.
Got it. Move up. Got it.
Now come on, that should have been a kill shot.
You're gonna pay for that.
How many more of these guys are there? I want you to bleed for me.
Let's just be cool, man. Hey, take it easy, all right?
Had to be done.
I was too damn close.
To the edge of the universe and back. Endure and survive.
Excuse me?
Savage Starlight. That comic I've been reading? It's what the hero says after a big battle.
Endure and survive.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least we made it through the battle. What the heck is this? That was actually a good fight. That one shot when that guy came up close, I didn't know the shots do more damage up close. QZ lost by the military, North liberated, West no survivors, South over.
Oh, so you're a reader, huh?
Well, I'm not running away from hunters and infected. Yeah, I read all the time.
The thing is, that never really seemed to cross over, or play out, I should say, real well in the sequel. Yeah, why would you make smoke bombs when realistically speaking, the explosives are better weapons? Oh, that heals me all the way to full now. That's good. And then make another one. There we go. I got 20 of those now. Okay, so I didn't really lose too much in that fight. I'm completely out of pistol ammo almost, though. Please tell me these guys have got something good on them.
I think we could use some good old pun humor.
Oh lord, not the book again.
Bakers trade bread recipes on a need-to-know basis. Need.
I get it.
A moon rock tastes better than an earthly rock because it's meteor. Oh man, that made me hungry. A backwards poet writes in verse.
Do you even get that?
Of course not. I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now.
All right, I've actually never heard that one.
That's it. That's all I got.
Some of those are actually not too bad, but it takes a lot to get a joke or a laugh out of me, I should say. My mom, my grandmother used to call people an old wooden head. I don't know the song. I think it's an old country or bluegrass song. Something like, "Dear old Kalijah, you poor old wooden head." I don't know any other lyrics of the song. That's just about the only thing my mom's ever sang to me to let me know where she got that. And that's from my grandmother. And so my mom, because I don't laugh at her jokes, and my mom is a very upbeat person. I don't do a lot of talking in public. I've said before, I let my family and my girlfriend, and then especially if my mom is there, I let her do the talking for me, because they never met a stranger. I had to find people in my life that never met strangers. My mom, I tell her all the time, if you don't want to talk to nobody, don't make eye contact, and definitely don't smile. And my mom, the first thing she does is make eye contact and smile. And it's one of the most annoying things in the world because you can't get her to stop talking. At least then I don't have to do the talking, though. So I guess it's a lose-win situation. Okay, is there any gear? Which way do I have to
What was
go?
this place used for?
They call it processing. It's where they picked out who'd go in and who'd stay out. Sometimes only half a family would be allowed to go through.
What would happen then?
What do you think?
Okay, I do have enough to make a Molotov now. I feel a little better having about one of those, just simply because it makes getting through here a little easier at times. More arrows. At least now I know that if I need to... I should have been using the arrows there to take out some of them at range. I kind of forget that the bow is a thing in this game, because the drop on some of the... on the bullet... or on the arrows... I'm sorry, it's been a long day. The drop on the arrows is a bit unrealistic. It's a bit too much at times, especially when you're close. It seems to drop down from their head to their necks very quickly. And so it's an unreliable weapon. Khazad Risk. Now that's not even a real name. Who would name their kid Khazad Risk? Okay, which way do we go? That's blocked off, so I'm guessing we don't... I want to explore, but we're also almost out of time. But I want to make sure I get all the resources I can while I'm here. Poster. Fedra, this is the fate of all traitors executed. Aiding traitors is punishable by death. The Pittsburgh Battalion is here to keep you safe. We are actively working to restore order to the quarantine zone. There's a difference between order and taking away people's rights. Like this pandemic, I never really thought about it, and I don't want to talk about politics. I've said this before, I consider myself an independent. I don't think either side is fully right. You look at some people, politicians that are in the news a lot, and both of them sometimes seem like jackasses. I'm putting it like that. And I don't think many people can argue with that statement. But, you know, like when the mask became an issue for us, I'd never thought about it. And, you know, all throughout this, I did as I was told, to a unhealthy degree. And I'm, you know, I'm honest, I was so scared of getting sick because, you know, I'm an asthmatic, and my mom has had a lot of health problems, and she recently had back surgery, and then my back got messed up, or my back's been messed up, but it started, yeah, that's the first time I found out that it was injured. Frankenstein. Arabian Nights. but then once, all that happened, I thought I've got to keep her safe, and then I got to keep myself safe, and I got to keep my family safe, because we were all together. And so I became extremely concerned about the pandemic, and I was always covered, and I think that it was killing me. Only as of like 2 days ago have I fully stopped wearing masks and stuff, and even then I became a rebel because my asthma doctor said if I was you I wouldn't do it. But he's a bit of a worrywart, and I realize it's becoming unhealthy for me to sit around and agree with his obsessions. I guess would be how to word it. I respect the man. I think he's a fine man and a good doctor. But at the same time, I think that I'm as safe as I can be, and I've never gotten sick during this whole thing, not once. And so there's not much else I can do. I try to be safe, I try to be smart, but it was really messing with my head, and I couldn't live like that no more. It's amazing. This game came out in 2013, and there is a lot of similarities between this game and what's going on in 2022 in real life. Like the way that they held those people down and asked them, are they sick? And like Bill constantly saying, are you bit? And holding them down, making sure they're fine. But tying back into the thing I was talking about, some people very much politicize wearing masks. And seems like these quarantine zones.
Soldiers.
You get people desperate enough, they'll do just about anything.
And the people that rose up, they're the ones we've been fighting here?
That'd be my bet.
Another 3 soldiers dead. What's it going to take? Give up. Well, it's going to take a lot more than 3 dead soldiers, my friend. Silence and tolerance equals death. See, stuff like that. That really makes me think about that, because a lot of people were upset about those mandates, and to a degree, I agree with them. Because, like, a lot of actors and stuff lost their jobs, and now they're dropping those mandates. And that doesn't give back people their jobs. And not just actors, but, I had neighbors and stuff that didn't believe in the mandates.
See where this leads us.
And you could say those people are part of the problem, and I can see where you're saying that too. But I do believe that there was a little bit of an overstep, and I do believe there was a lot of confusion and stuff that led some people to be very scared and very forced in to these. Felt like they was forced into a situation that they had to take a vaccine and stuff, or else they'd lose their jobs. And then I also agree that if people don't take it and you don't force some people, that we could have had a larger problem on our hands. And I don't know what to say, but this game has sort of a similar thing with the militia taking over these quarantine zones and martial law being enforced, and it's still not dropped. And this looks like several years later. I don't know exactly how long of a distance it is. Man, how many more are there?
There's more of them. All right. I don't think they saw us.
There's our bridge. We're a little closer, I think.
Let's keep at it. Come on.
Okay, well, since we're at the 55-minute mark, I'm just going to go ahead and end this episode here. I apologize for talking through most of it, but I mean, it's sort of part of this deal. You're supposed to be here to hear me, not just see me play the game. You can Google a no commentary playthrough, I guess, if you want to see that. But I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Like I said, I've very much enjoyed recording this series. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing I have. My opinion still hasn't changed. The combat does feel better, I will say. But the combat feels better on the PlayStation in general with a lot of games. You play Call of Duty, Cold War on PC, it's still plays like a computer game. You play it on the PS5, the trigger feedback and stuff gives the weight resistance and stuff, and makes it feel just a little bit more immersive and a little cooler. I do believe that this technology from the DualSense controller will be part of what makes VR go into the next generation. And when the PSVR 2 headset comes out, I do think that if PlayStation does it right this time, doesn't make just a shit imitation of the Vive and the Oculus, then they will potentially own the market on VR. And I don't know for certain. I'm not placing no big bet on it, but I bought the original PlayStation VR and I didn't much care for it. I bought the Oculus, or not the HTC Vive Pro, the blue one, and I played it quite a bit and I enjoyed it, but my favorite one was the Oculus, or the Meta Quest 2, or the Oculus Quest 2, just because it's completely unplugged. And I think that until we get headsets completely unplugged, nobody's really going to be able to make a truly immersive game. But I think that if you put the feedback from the controller from the PlayStation into the sensors for your hands and stuff like that, you'd have a lot more fun in VR. But other than that, it's still The Last of Us, and I'm not going to change my opinion that just because I have a little bit more fun with the combat and a little bit prettier visuals, that I'm paying $70 for it. Yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.